Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Wednesday, January 10th, 2023. Today, college basketball, NBA, NHL, soccer, NHL New Year's resolutions, news and notes, and best bet. We're going to start with college basketball. We will go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to a busy day today. Cornell beats Columbia 91-79. Seton Hall beats Georgetown 74-70. Iowa State upsets number 2 Houston 57-53. Number 6 Kentucky beats Missouri 90-77. Number 25 Texas beats Cincinnati 74-73. Florida State beats Wake 87-82. Kansas State beats West Virginia 81-67. Rutgers beats Indiana 66-57. Alabama beats South Carolina 74-47. Rhode Island beats Davidson 79-74. VCU beats George Mason 54-50. Central Michigan beats East Michigan 80-64. Akron beats Ball State 80-76. Western Michigan beats Northern Illinois 95-90 in overtime. Toledo beats Kent State 89-75. Miami of Ohio beats Buffalo 86-65. Bowling Green beats Ohio 83-78. Yale beats Brown 80-70. Nichols beats Southeast Louisiana 66-61. Texas Tech beats Oklahoma State 90-73. Richmond beats Loyola Chicago 58-56. Nebraska upsets number 1 Purdue 88-72. Number 14 Baylor beats number 18 BYU 81-72. Boise State beats number 17 Colorado State 65-58. Number 20 Utah State beats Wyoming 83-59. Number 22 Creighton beats DePaul 84-58. LSU beats Vandy 77-69. Number 11 Duke beats Pitt 75-53. Number 16 Auburn beats A&M 66-55. Notre Dame beats Georgia Tech 75-68 in OT. Nevada beats Air Force 67-54. UNLV beats New Mexico 83-73. And number 19 San Diego State beats San Jose State 81-78. All right, at noon today, Green Bay, IUPUI. My line is Green Bay by a fifth. I did not do totals in either college or the NBA today, so I apologize for that in advance. And it's 8.5 and 134.5. I'll take IUPUI in the points. 6 o'clock, Loyola, Maryland Army. Lions Army by 3, and it's 4.5, 125.5. I will take the over. 6:30, Big Ten Network, Northwestern, Penn State. My line's Northwestern by 1, and it's 1.5, 141.5. I'll take the under. 6:30, Fox Sports 1, Providence, St. John's from the Garden. My line's St. John's 4.2, and 7.5, 144.5. I'll take Providence to cover. Purdue, Fort Wayne, Youngstown State. My line's Youngstown 2.5, and it's 4.5, 155.5. I'll take Purdue, Fort Wayne to cover. 7 o'clock, number 3, Kansas, UCF. My line is Kansas by 7 and 1/8. And it's 6.5 and 142.5. I'll take the over. Number 5, Tennessee and Mississippi State, SEC Network. I have Pick'em. It's Tennessee 2.5 to 138.5. I'll take Miss State plus the points and plus 108 outright. Number 21, Clemson, Vodtech, ESPN2. My line is Clemson by 7/10. And it's 1.5 and 144.5. I'll take that over as well. ACC Network, Louisville, Miami. My line's Miami 13.3. And it is, let's see, 15.5 and 157.5. I'll take Louisville to cover. ECU Temple, my line's ECU by 0.5. And it is Temple 1.5 to 141.5. I'll take ECU plus the 1.5 and plus 118. Tulsa, Charlotte. My line's Pick'em. And it's Charlotte by a whopping 7.5 to 134.5. I'll take Tulsa plus the 7.5 to cover the spread. Winthrop, Presbyterian. My line's Winthrop 4.25. And it's 6.5 and 142.5. I'll take Presbyterian to cover. Asheville, High Point. My line is High Point 2.25. And it's The 8.5 and 153.5. I'll take Asheville to cover. Charleston Southern Gardner Webb -5 and 7/8 for Gardner Webb. And it's 12.5, 141.5. I'll take Charleston Southern to cover. Lafayette Colgate, Colgate 12.5, and it's 13.5, 129.5 over. Navy Holy Cross Holy Cross 2.25, and Navy's giving 2.5 totals 135.5. I'll take Holy Cross plus the points plus 132. American BU, American by 3/4, and it is 1.5 and 132.5. I'll take the over. LaSalle, UMass. My line is UMass by 3 1/8. And it's 9.5 and 154.5. I'll take LaSalle to cover. St. Joe's, St. Louis on CBS Sports Network. My line is St. Joe's by 2 1/8. And it's 4.5 and 150.5. I'll take St. Louis to cover. Bucknell, Lehigh. My line's Lehigh 9 1/4. It's 7.5 and 139.5. I'm going to take the over. Mercer, Wofford. My line is Wofford 1 3/4. And it is 4.5 and 145.5. I'll take Mercer to cover. Western Carolina, East Tennessee State. My line is Western by 4 3/4. And it's 1.5 and 142.5. I'll lay it with Western on the road. Citadel, Furman. My line is Furman 5 3/8. And it is 10.5 and 115.5. I'll take Citadel to cover. Wright State, Robert Morris. My line's Wright State 3.3. And it's 5.5 and 158.5. I'll take Robert Morris to cover. Northern Kentucky, Oakland. Mine's Oakland by 1 7/8. And it's 5.5 and 148.5. I'll take Northern and the point. Chicago State, Fairleigh Dickinson. Mine's Fairleigh Dickinson 11 1/4, and it's only 1.5. So I'm gonna lay it. Fairleigh Dickinson total 147.5. Georgia Southern, Marshall. My line is Marshall by 10 1/10. And it's 11.5, 153.5. I'll take the under. Florida Gulf Coast, Queens. My line is Gulf Coast by 1/8. And it is Queens 1.5, total 150.5. Under. Stetson, Kennesaw State. My line is Kennesaw 4 1/4. It's 2.5 and 160.5 under. Jacksonville State, Liberty. My line's Liberty 8 3/4, and it is Liberty 10.5, total 129.5. I'll take the over. My State, Belmont. That's a 7:30 game. My line is Belmont 6.9. And it's 6.5 and 148.5. I'll take the over. Western Kentucky, Sam Houston. My line is Sam Houston as 4 3/4 underdog. And they're favored by 1.5, total 153.5. Give me Western plus the points, plus 1 outright. All right, 8 o'clock, ESPN. Number 7, North Carolina, NC State. Mine's NC State by 3/10, and it's North Carolina 4.5, total 154.5. Give me NC State plus the points, plus 158 outright. UTSA, number 13, Memphis. Mine's Memphis 14.5. And it's 19.5 and 161.5. I'll take UTSA to cover. Southern Illinois, Valpo. My line is Southern by 5.3. And it's 9.5, 134.5. I'll take Valpo to cover. UIC, Northern Iowa. My line is Northern Iowa 7.6. It's 7.5 and 138.5. I'll take the over. Murray State, Missouri State. My line is Missouri State 4.5. And it's 4.5, 145.5. I'll take the over. Indiana State Drake, fantastic game. Line's Drake 2.7. It's 1.5, 157.5. I'll take the under. Evansville Bradley, mine's Bradley 6.2, and it's 13.5, 144.5. I'll take Evansville to cover. 8:30 Fox Sports 1, number 4 UConn at Xavier. Mine's UConn 3 3/4. And it's 4.5 to 145.5. I'm going to take the over. Big Ten Network, number 15 Wisconsin at Ohio State. My line's Wisconsin by 7/10, and it's Ohio State 1.5 total 140.5. I'll take the over. Louisiana Troy, my line's Troy 4.3, and it's 2.5 146.5. I'll take the over. 9 o'clock ESPN number 9 Oklahoma TCU, my line's TCU by 4. It's 4.5 148.5. I'll take the over. CBS Sports Mark Butler, number 11 Marquette, my line's Marquette 7.2. And it's 11.5 and 152.5. I'll take Butler to cover. BC Syracuse, ACC Network wins Syracuse 3.3, and it's 3.5 and 155.5. I'll take the over. ESPN U Arkansas Georgia, my line's Georgia by 0.5. And they're giving 2.5 totals 152.5. I'll take Arkansas plus the points plus 126. SEC Network Florida Ole Miss, mine's Ole Miss by 5. And it's Florida by 2.5 total 158.5. I don't think the right team's favorite. Give me Ole Miss plus the points and plus 116 outright. And last but not least, Wazoo Cal. Oh no, it's Wazoo. Against USC. My apologies. Okay, Wazoo USC. 10:30 Fox Sports 1. My line is USC by 5.8. And it's 6.5 and 146.5. I'll take the over. And 11 o'clock ESPN Colorado Cal. My line is Colorado 3.8. It's 4.5 and 150.5. I'll take the over in that one. All right, now move on to the NBA. We will recap the game from yesterday and head to a busy window for tonight. Knicks over the Blazers 112-84. Kings over the Pistons 131-110. T-Wolves over the Magic 113-92. Grizzlies over the Mavs 121-03. And the Lakers over the Raptors 132-131. All right, today 7 o'clock. T-Wolves Celtics. Mine Celtics by 6.25. And it is 7 and 224.5. I'll take the over. Kings Hornets. My line is Kings 17. And it's 7-2-33.5. I'll lay the 7 with Sacramento. Spurs Pistons. My line is the Spurs by 3/4. And it's 3.5 with 239.5. I'll take the Pistons to cover. Wizards Pacers. My line is Pacers by 9. It's 7.5 with 252. I'll take the under. 7:30 Sixers Hawks. My line's Hawks 4 3/4. And it's 2.5 245. I'll lay the 2.5 with the Hawks. Thunder Heat. My line is the Thunder by 4 1/4. And it's 4.5 and 234. I'll take the under. 8 o'clock Rockets Bulls. Mine's Bulls 3 3/4. And it's 4 and 216.5. I'll take the over. 8:30 ABC Pelicans Warriors. My line is the Pelicans by 1/4. And it's by 1. Total's 233. Wow, the Warriors are home dog to the Pelicans. That's crazy. I'll take the under. 10 o'clock ESPN Nuggets Jazz. My line is the Nuggets 6 1/4, and it's 7 and 238. I'll take the under there too. And then 10:30 Raptors Clippers. Men's Clippers 8.5, and it's 10.5 235.5. I'll take Toronto to cover the spread. Okay, NHL. We'll go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to tonight's slate. Kraken over the Sabres 5-2. Leafs over the Sharks 7-1. Lightning over the Kings 3-2 in OT. Canucks over the Isles 5-2. Panthers over the Blues 5-1. Ducks over the Preds 5-3. Jets over the Blue Jackets 5-0. Oilers over the Blackhawks 2-1. Flames over the Sens 6-3. And the Coyotes over the Bruins 4-3 in OT. All right, only 3 tonight, 7 o'clock. You have Canadians Flyers. Flyers minus 172, Habs plus 142, over under 6.5, overs even money, unders minus 122. Habs plus 1.5 is minus 172, Flyers minus 1.5 is plus 142. For this one, I'm going to go Philadelphia in regulation at minus 115. 7:30 TNT, Wild Stars. Stars at minus 188, Wild plus 155, over under 6.5, overs even money, unders minus 122. Wild plus 1.5 is minus 154, Stars minus 1.5 is plus 128. I'm going to take the over in this game, but I don't feel good about it. And then 10 o'clock on TNT, Golden Knights Avs. Avs minus 144, Vegas plus 120, over under 6.5, overs plus 102, and there's minus 124. Vegas plus 1.5 is minus 100, Colorado minus 1.5 is plus 164. I'm going to go with the over here as well at plus 102. Now I'm going to recap the soccer games from yesterday and look ahead to today's games. All right, so we didn't have much today. So Carabao Cup, or I should say yesterday, Borough over Chelsea 1-0 in the first leg of the Carabao Cup semifinals. Hayden Hackney with the goal in the 37th minute for Borough. 3 o'clock today, you have Liverpool and Fulham. Liverpool is going to be favored. I have no doubt in my mind that that's the case. They're minus 100. Fulham is 6-1. The draw is 4-1. So for this one, I'm going to go over 3.5 goals at plus 112. And then Coppa Italia, Fiorentina, Bologna was a 0-0 draw, but Fiorentina advances 5-4 on penalties. 2 matches today, 12 o'clock game, Lazio and AS Roma. I'm just going to quickly pull up those odds. Lazio's plus 190, Roma's plus 165, the draw's plus 185. Lazio's playing well. I'm going to take them at plus 190. And 3 o'clock, give Milan at Atalanta. Milan plus 115, Atalanta plus 230, and the draw's plus 230 also. I'm going to go with Milan at plus 115. We have at 2 o'clock on ESPN2 the Spanish Supercopa. It's between Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid. So for this one, I'm going to pull it up. Real Madrid's minus 105, Atletico's plus 250, the draw's plus 240. We go with Real Madrid at home at minus 105. In French Division 1 Feminine, 12:30 we have Dijon and FC Fleury 91. Guingamp and Montpellier. Le Havre AC and Bordeaux. And 3 o'clock you have Lyon and Paris FC. Saint Etienne and Stade de Reims postponed. So that's really it for soccer today. Okay, now I'm going to do something that I promised that I was going to do earlier in the week, but we didn't have time, but we have it now. The 2024 NHL New Year's resolutions. We'll go in alphabetical order as we did in the other 3 sports. All right, Dan, I'm Doc. So trade Adam Henrique. He's going to be a free agent at the end of the season, and he could be useful on a bunch of contenders. Arizona Coyotes. Decide on the defense long term. They really don't have any long-term pieces on defense. Boston Bruins. Decide on a long-term goaltending. Linus Holmberg flamed out in the playoffs, and their current starting goalie, Jeremy Swayman, restricted free agent this summer. Buffalo Sabres extend Casey Middlestat. Middlestat's been really good this year on Buffalo, and I think he's a keeper. Calgary Flames explore a full rebuild. Calgary has just underachieved the past couple of seasons, and where things stand right now, they are in far back in their division. They're in 6th in their division and 4 back of Seattle for the final wild card. So they should explore a full rebuild, and obviously that Kachuk trade was an absolute disaster. Carolina, get a top 6 forward. I think they need a top 6 guy to go deep in the postseason. The Chicago Blackhawks, make win-now moves to help Connor Bedard. This is only because Bedard's on your team and Bedard's that good. But maybe they trade Seth Jones this year, or maybe they keep Seth Jones and they trade for other people in the summer. Colorado, get a top 6 forward rental. I say rental because obviously they get Landeskog back next season, but they have a chance to win the cup. Get a rental. Columbus, make long-term decisions on recent draft picks. There's a lot of guys that are going to be restricted, free agents and whatnot, and this is a team that's trying to pick and choose who they want to be a part of their franchise long-term. Dallas Stars, get depth on defense. Their defense is not as deep as it used to be, so I think they need some depth on defense. The Detroit Red Wings, add multiple forwards. I think that this team needs a lot of offense if it is to be a contender, whether that's this year at the deadline or in the offseason if they flame out this year. Edmonton Oilers, improve the bottom 6 forward group. I think Edmonton's too top-heavy where things stand right now, so they should expand on that. Florida, re-sign Sam Reinhart. Sam Reinhart's been a big part of their team, and they should re-sign him. The Kings of Los Angeles, decide on a long-term solution and goal. Cam Talbot's having a career year. Phoenix Copley's on the IR, and Riddish is a backup, so they need a long-term and goal. Minnesota, think about long-term and goal. Marc-Andre Fleury, free agent. He might retire soon, and there's nobody in the pipe. So come draft time, they should look at goalies. Or they go the other way and try to trade for somebody like John Gibson. Montreal Canadiens, find a taker for Sean Monahan. Monahan's putting up some good numbers this year at Montreal. Maybe he'll fit in Carolina. Who knows? Nashville, explore a long-term deal with Dante Fabro. I like Dante Fabro. I think he's a good young defenseman, and he should be in Nashville long-term. New Jersey Devils, get a long-term solution and goal. Vitek Vanacek isn't the long-term answer. To me, he's just like a Cam Talbot stopgap veteran. Charlie Lindgren's had a nice year for them. I'm looking at the Capitals. My bad. Not Charlie Lindgren. Akira Schmid was doing good until the postseason, or until this season. He was doing good in the postseason, and then Nico Dawes really hasn't been all that for New Jersey. So maybe that's a team that gets John Gibson. New York Islanders, get another top 6 forward. The Islanders' big issue is goal scoring, and there's guys that are not performing on their top lines. New York Rangers, get a defenseman. Their defense has not been very good of late, and they have a lot of big names on defense, but a lot of those guys are like injuries or not living up to potential. So the Rangers, I think, have to improve their defense, especially like the bottom two of their top six defense. And then they're going to be right there among the teams to beat in the East. The Ottawa Senators get something in return for Vladimir Tarasenko. Tarasenko's putting up numbers. Maybe he goes back to the Rangers for what it's worth, or Carolina. Philadelphia Flyers. Stay committed to the youth movement. This was my pick for them even before the Drysdale deal. I think it's a big long-term ad for Philly, but they got to keep going with this type of wheeling and dealing. Pittsburgh, start to find more long-term pieces, and I mean post-Crosby era, possibly long-term pieces. Gensel, who knows? He's a free agent at the end of the year. They got to re-sign him. But they do have some talent in the minors and some prospects, of course, that are coming. They're starting to keep their draft picks more. But Crosby, Malkin, and company aren't going to be around for much longer. Crosby's a free agent after 25, by the way. San Jose, trade Mikael Granlund. Mikael Granlund's going to fit nicely on a contender. Seattle, keep proven veterans around. The vets that helped them get to the postseason last season. The Kraken do need to have veterans on their team. They've underachieved so far this year. I know they're in a wild card right now, but keep the vets around. St. Louis, decide on what to do with Pavel Buchnevich. He's a free agent after 25, and getting him in that trade with the Rangers, if the Rangers don't win a Stanley Cup in the Igor Shesterkin era, that trade is going to be why. They probably should have kept him. And I think it was John Davidson that made that trade and not Chris Drury, if I'm not mistaken. But the Blues now are under pressure on what to do with Pavel Buchnevich. Tampa Bay. Explore beginning a rebuild if team implodes. Steven Stamkos, by the way, free agent at the end of the year. So they might be looking at a possible rebuild. Them and Pittsburgh are in similar long-term situations, and same with Washington, Boston. I mean, maybe even the Rangers, depending on what happens with them. Toronto, make the damn Stanley Cup final. You finally won a playoff series. Now you gotta make the Stanley Cup final, let alone the conference finals. I think the East is wide open, and it's there for the Leafs for the taking. Vancouver, extend Elias Pettersson and Philip Roenick. These two guys are big parts of Vancouver being in first place in the Pacific Division, and both those guys are RFAs after the year. Vegas Golden Knights, re-sign Jonathan Marchessault. He's a free agent at the end of the year and big part of your Stanley Cup run last year. Washington, let Alex Ovechkin get more realistically close to Wayne Gretzky's record. This is something that we're going to be following until it happens. I want Ovi to break this record personally as a fan of the game and one of the faces of my generation growing up watching hockey. I would love to see it. And then with the Winnipeg Jets, extend Cole Perfetti. Cole Perfetti, big part of the big trade that that sent Pierre-Luc Dubois to LA, and he's been wonderful on Winnipeg. So if I'm Winnipeg, I'd extend Cole Perfetti. All right, so there you have it for the New Year's resolutions, and now we'll move on to the news and notes for today. Not that much. Huge story in basketball as the Heat and Eric Spoelstra agreed to an 8 years, $120+ million, most committed money to a coach ever. And honestly, he deserves it. If any coach deserves the bank right now, it's Eric Spoelstra. He got an 8 seed to the NBA Finals last year. Granted, an 8 seed had underachieved badly in the regular season and got hot late, kind of like the 99 Knicks. But, it's debatable what team was better. Probably this Heat team, only because the Knicks didn't have Patrick Ewing when they made the finals. Although they had Ewing, and then he got hurt against Indiana, if I'm not mistaken. But Eric Spoelstra is an awesome head coach, and he deserves all the money and all the credit in the world. And then LeBron actually congratulated Spo on the record deal, which was really nice of him. Giannis says he's okay with fan boos, as he says reaction to the game the other night was warranted. I boo myself. And then LeBron ripped the refs of the Celtics-Pacers game, which is not surprising. Good news for the Indiana Pacers. The injury to Tyrese Haliburton is not serious. He's only going to be out for 2 weeks due to the hamstring injury. So that's not as big as a blow as we thought it was going to be. Tom Crean was at the title game 2 nights ago. Apparently he's related to Jim Harbaugh. Something we already knew, TJ Watt out against the Bills MCL sprain. All right, so so Warner goes to the Spurs, so he's back to the Premier League. Jakob Bertel out indefinitely, 2 weeks due to a left ankle sprain. Not great for the Raptors. Cade Cunningham out 7 to 10 days due to a knee injury. Not great. Jalen Polk declares for the draft after the college football playoff national title loss. And then Mel Kiper Jr. says that 3 wide receivers may go in the top 10. Marvin Harrison Jr. top 5. Roma Dunze and Malik Neighbors probably top 6, 7, 8. Holy crap. What's it going to be? Caleb Williams, Drake May, Jalen Daniels, Marvin Harrison, Brock Bowers, Joe All, the Penn State tackle, Adunze, and Neighbors. That might be the picks, but I don't know in that order. After it was reported that Imanaga was the favorite to go to San Francisco, they pulled out of the running, and he ends up signing with the Cubs. Good signing for Chicago. They needed pitching. Obviously, the connection with Suzuki is a big help. So nice signing for the Cubs there. The Chargers are eyeing Bengals offensive coordinator Brian Callahan for his coaching job. That's not a bad one. I like Brian Callahan. Done a good job with the Bengals. Got a lot out of Jake Browning, I thought. But the most shocking news of the day, the Titans fire Mike Vrabel after consecutive losing seasons. everybody thought there was a possibility they were going to trade him, but they didn't want to trade him. They wanted to move on quickly, which was stupid. Same old freaking Titans. Like, their ownership is so dysfunctional. They haven't had, like, a terrible decision like this in a while. This is the worst coaching firing in a while, in my opinion, in terms of a team that I think is going to regret it. So, we'll see what happens. And this is probably the most surprising coach firing since Brian Flores, although I low-key called Brian Flores a couple years ago because that team kind of just, like, collapsed, and I know how Stephen Ross is, so I'm not completely stunned that one happened, but I'm surprised that Vrabel was fired. I thought if he was going to leave the Titans, it was going to be because of a trade, not a firing. So that one caught me by surprise. I think there's a Patriots thing potentially looming if Bill goes to Washington or Atlanta or the Chargers. So just keep an eye out for that. And then Jordan Schultz of Bleacher Report reports that Mike Vrabel could return to New England. The interest is mutual. And then the Giants end up moving on from Mike Kafka. He resigns too, or they part ways with him. So the Giants have a lot of work to do on their coaching staff. I don't think either coordinator should have been back, personally. The offense was really, really bad with Daniel Jones for most of the year, and then the offense looked good the last couple weeks with Tyrod, and then those two with DeVito. So there was, like, a possibility that Kafka might have saved his job, but not so fast. It's the whole season, not 5 weeks. And then I told you guys how I felt about Wink Martindale. I thought he should have been fired because he gave up 40 to Dallas twice, and you gave up 30-plus every good team you faced outside of Philly last Sunday. So we'll see where the Giants go with all their open coaching positions. So there you have it for news and notes. Last but not least, my best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. This is a hard one. You know what? I might actually have DraftKings. We're going to change up best bet, do DraftKings instead. Just for today. So there's a couple that jumped out to me. I want to take the Kings at Charlotte. But the last time I bet the Kings against Charlotte to win and cover, they lost outright. So maybe I shouldn't go there. But that's where I'm going to go. And the Kings are playing a little bit better now. And that's just some random fluke loss. So, for best bet, I'm going to lay 6.5 at Sacramento minus 115 on DraftKings against Charlotte. That's a better number than 7 on FanDuel, which is crazy. So, I'm going to lay the 6.5 with the Kings against Charlotte. Maybe second time's the charm with this pick. So, there you have it for the show. I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything. Look at that, everything tomorrow as well. Hope you guys have a great day, everyone.